Hi everyone, Kylie here again from Ballet Austin's Community Education Department. I'm back for some more yoga flow today. Today we're going on an outer space adventure. So get ready to take your imaginations into outer space as we practice our yoga today. If you have a large book or a yoga block or something that could be used like a yoga block, it may be helpful for one of our poses that we're doing today. If you don't have one, don't worry, you can still practice along with us. So today, let's get started standing. You're coming to a comfortable position. Your feet are hip-width distance and parallel. For our breaths today, we'll roll our shoulders up as we take a big inhale, and then on our exhale, just shake it out as you exhale. Again, take a big breath in, and then exhale, bend your knees and shake it out. So you want to feel your feet getting really grounded into the floor as we get ready for takeoff. Again, take a big inhale, roll those shoulders down, and then exhale, shake it out. So good, everybody. Bring your hands to your hips. Let's practice our takeoff by taking a deep bend in our knees, and then you'll rise up to your highest tippy toes, strong push off with the feet. Again, take a deep bend in your knees on your inhale. Exhale, push off. One more like that. Take a big bend, and then press forward. From here, hold into your bend, so you're sticking your booty out the back, and then reach your arms up overhead. So it's like you're sitting in a chair. This is actually Utkatasana, or chair pose in yoga. Your arms are reaching as if they could reach all the way through the sky and out into the universe. You're reaching for the stars or for the moon or for the sunshine. Holding here, a couple more breaths. From here, we'll come into our diver's pose. So practicing taking off in our rocket ship, you'll take your arms down and then reach your arms behind you and rise to the tippy toes. And then come back into your chair pose. So you reach down, rise up to tippy toes, head reaches forward, and then come back to chair. One more time, try that balance. Taking it down, shooting forward. Beautiful, and then come back to your chair. From here, press your feet down firmly as you come into your rocket ship. We're boarding our rocket ship, arms overhead. Holding here nice and tall, we have our upward salute side bends. So driving your rocket ship from side to side as you take off into outer space. As you're breathing here, imagining the color of your rocket ship. It could be your favorite color, your favorite design. Maybe after yoga, you'll take some time to draw your rocket ship. Very good. Also thinking about who you want to take with you on your adventure into outer space. Who's with you in your rocket ship? Maybe you're taking your parent or caregiver. Maybe your pet gets to go with you, or maybe your favorite stuffed animal, your favorite book. Who or what is with you on your rocket ship? Very good, and as we continue flying through outer space, the first thing that we see is a blazing star. So step your feet wide. We're coming to a wide-legged forward fold. So reaching those arms, big inhale. Exhale, fold it on forward, and then let go of those hands and bring them down to the floor. We will revolve this pose, so one hand stays down, the other arm reaches to the side like a big star, reaching. Good, and then bring that down, switching it out, reaching your star to the opposite direction. Good, everybody. We then see a star starting to rise. Roll your spine up nice and slow. Then we'll come into a warrior two or Virabhadrasana 2. So you'll turn your foot out that will face toward the front of your mat so that the toes reach right to the front of the mat. Take your arms wide and then look over the hand that's in front. From here, bend your front knee forward. As our star starts to rise, we come into a side angle pose. So you'll reach your arm down toward the toes. The arm comes up overhead, extending that arm. So this is an extended side angle. You can reach your hand to the inside of the foot, or this is where that block or that book might come in handy. You can place your hand on the block or the book. If you don't have one, you can always tap toward your ankle or your shin and hold here. The star begins to rise, and then it becomes a shooting star and falls. So reach your shooting star up and over, and coming into your reverse warrior pose. Again, another star begins to rise, coming to your extended side angle, holding here. Imagining that star rising as you watch it out the window of your rocket ship. And then it becomes a shooting star as it starts to fall. Don't forget to make a wish on your shooting star. It can be anything that you want. Good, and then come back into your warrior two. From here we get our first glimpse of the moon, and it's a half moon today. So let's come into our half moon pose. From here, you'll keep your knee bent and you'll shift your weight forward. You can either grab toward your block or toward the floor. You'll rest your hand on that block and shift your weight to one foot. From here, your other foot can tap the floor for balance, or if you'd like, you can reach your arm and leg up into your half moon pose. A very difficult balancing pose, holding here, finding one spot to look for on the floor. Imagining what the shape of half of the moon looks like as you hold. Very good. As time continues passing and we continue our travels through space, the moon becomes a crescent moon shape. So we'll come into our crescent lunge, turning your legs toward the front of your mat. Hands on the hips, you'll bend your knee forward. From here, your back knee touches all the way down to the ground, and you can untuck your toes. From here, you'll bend into your front knee. Make sure the knee stays right over the ankle, and then reach your arms overhead, creating that crescent moon shape. As the moon becomes smaller and smaller, breathing here. Very good, and then come back to a kneeling position. Hands back to your hips, and we'll trade that crescent moon out. So let's create that on the opposite leg. From here, press your hips forward, leaning into that front leg. Reach your arms up overhead and arch back just slightly, creating that crescent moon shape. That moon is glowing out the window of your rocket ship. And then before you know it, more time passes and the moon disappears completely. So let's create a new moon. It's very dark in the sky when there's a new moon. So you'll sit down onto your heels here. Your toes stay untucked. You'll grab onto your feet. So you reach those arms back behind you, grabbing on toward your heels. From here, you'll take your nose down toward your knees, getting it as close as you can to your legs. And then you'll shift your weight forward, placing weight on the top of the head as you lift your seat up. This is rabbit pose in yoga. It's a great stretch for your neck. So hold here, imagining that it's a new moon. You can't see the moon in the sky here outside your rocket ship. You can even close your eyes if you'd like to imagine that it's really dark other than the stars outside. Couple more breaths here. Big inhale. And then gently sit back onto those heels and roll up. Well, since it's a new moon and there's no moon for us to land on, let's turn our rocket ship back towards home. Right as we turn that rocket ship around, though, we see a UFO rising here, a flying saucer. So create your saucer shape in cobbler's pose, Baddha Konasana. So you bring your feet together, your knees are open wide, you'll lift your chest and then round forward as if you're creating that flying saucer shape. From here, you can imagine who's on that flying saucer. Maybe some friends came to outer space to join you. Maybe there's aliens on the flying saucer. Use your imagination. Or maybe speak out loud to your friends. Tell them hello. Ask them their names. Good, holding here. And then slowly roll up. Our rocket ship finally made it back home. Time to unload the rocket ship. You and your friends can get off and we'll relax. We finally made it home. So let's lay down, back at home, safely in our beds. Your legs are out, turned out slightly, palms up, in your Savasana corpse pose, holding here. Taking a few deep breaths. You can close your eyes or you can just stare up into the sky. Remembering your adventures from outer space today. Keep breathing here. This is where we'll finish our yoga today. Taking just a few more breaths. And we'll close with just a quote that I'd like to read to you all. So keep your breathing going. Nice deep inhales, nice deep exhales. And the quote reads, "When you reach for the stars, You are reaching for the farthest thing out there. When you reach deep into yourself, it's the same thing, but in the opposite direction. So if you reach in both of those directions, you will have spanned the universe. That quote is by a writer, Vera Nazarian. And I think it speaks to us today that you want to reach as far as you can out into the universe, out into the world, but that you also want to spend time for yourself. Getting to know yourself, calming any fears, stretching your body, taking care of your body. Good job, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me for our outer space yoga adventure. I had fun. I hope you had fun going into outer space. If you'd like, you could draw a picture of your space shuttle, your rocket ship, or maybe your flying saucer following today's yoga. From all of us at Ballet Austin, thank you, stay safe, and be well.